Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 234. This is reviewing the 1009th episode of the anime, Sasuke's Fierce Attack, Armored Vision versus Yamato, and the 1039th chapter of the manga. Yeah, it's produced that much. Now, this episode does that from pages 4 through 7 of 995, does finish the depth of the chapter, and pretty much pages 2 through 10, which is most of chapter 996. In case you're curious, though, it's 17 pages, and so this one basically starts off with basically the page they skipped over last week, they put in this episode here. Typical One Piece. So, with this one, we have as we kind of pick up some point during the last episode where you have Big Mom holding Marco. So you have Pespro, where he's about to fire one of his arrows at him. And then we see Carrot and Warda going up the stairs running really fast. And then we see something that actually added to the anime where they tease this, and this happens. We see Carrot and Warda go over to their Sulong forms in the anime, which the manga, they just randomly are in the forms. In the anime, they actually show the transformation, and it's really good. I got handed Toei. 2 thumbs up, in my opinion. Yeah, 2 smoking hot bays basically transform these beautiful beasts. It's just so awesome. And then they proceed to slice up Pespro. And, basically, he was like, I remember you. You're for that one time. Of course, he doesn't know her name. He's like, you killed Pedro. He killed himself by blowing himself up. Don't take that. Don't say it so lightly. And then, of course, basically, Marco is thrown by Big Mom. Look how he's saved by the girls. And they introduce themselves like, I'm Carrot. I'm Warda. You're Marco. You're a friend of Master Cat Vapor. And look enough, he does know who that is because they briefly chatted with him when he was younger. It's like, oh, you guys are. You probably think, oh yeah, you guys are the Minks. Yep. And of course, You go on ahead. We'll take care of Pespro. It's like, fine. Good idea. Go ahead and do that. And they begin their battle with Pespro. And he runs to the Ice Oni. Yes, and that's where his thing ends. Now, you're probably thinking, what happens next? Now, the whole sequence, by the way, that is roughly, get this, that is roughly 4 pages over the course of a few minutes. A good chunk of this episode comes from the first half of chapter 996. We kind of pick up where we left off last week at that point, where you have Otama showing up with her dog, biting on Uti, and of course Paige comes and knocks the thing over. So Nami basically pays back Usopp for basically using her voice without her permission. And of course, they try to attack. They try to hit him, and then he flies up and it lands right back at the dog, who runs away. And Nami asks Otama, "What are you doing here?" It's like, "How'd you get here?" It's like, "We're here as samurai. Also, we had help from the enemy. What enemy? A giant baboon." Who ends up fighting Page 1, which I found to be so hilarious. And then cut to Yamato still fighting Sasuke's armored division. They have to take a good chunk of the troops. And, she's about to take on Sasuke after basically eliminating a good chunk of his troops. Even after, also, she took time to save Momonosuke and Silver from a bunch of bullets. Apparently, because she's really strong. And then we see, apparently, like a transformation sequence. And then we hear, stop. What the heck is that, you probably thinking? It's Frankie! Yep. And it's like, oh, you're Cyborg Frankie, 94 berries. And of course, she does the fangirl thing, like, oh yeah, so awesome. And of course, Frankie has no idea who the heck Yamato is. And of course, I was like, Hotshot, what are you doing here? And of course, this thing looks like freaking Kill, who's dressed in the same outfit that Uma Thurman wears from Kill Bill. And proceeds to take his giant club and try to whack him. And of course, he whacks the freaking floor, make a giant freaking hole where you have Yamato and Momonosuke, and so it follow through. And Frankie's like, yeah, Luffy tells Frankie that Frankie trusts him to him. Like, okay, super. He says super because he loves saying that word super. He says in the dub too, which is so good the fact Patrick Schultz kept that in because that's his catchphrase. Super! Because he does that a lot, basically with his hands. I like the fact they kept that in the dub, which I find to be so hilarious. It's like, I'm sure Stoltz probably listened to that and like, yeah, I'll keep that in because that's his catchphrase. So if I meet Stoltz, I'll ask him, did you keep that super in because it's actually in the sub? I'm sure it's probably true. And before Yamato leaves, she proceeds to use like the special arrow beam from her own club, launch right at Hachin, and knocks him out. And Frankie's like, huh, interesting. And then we have Sasuke, where he's like, I wonder who's going on. Of course, then they land next floor below, and they run out. And of course, now they do this a couple times in the episode, where first you have, Karen and Warda like looking at the new world, like doing that image. And the episode ends with Yamamoto doing the same thing with Momonosuke, and that's the episode ends. Great episode. Like, and of course, next week we're going back to Chopper. And we're trying to eliminate this Ice Oni stuff. Which I wouldn't be surprised though. We're probably going to finish Dappling Chapter 196 next week. And probably start Dappling 197. Yeah, love this episode. I love the fact they added. I'm glad they added the Shulong transformation sequence. That's probably the only thing they added here aside from the whole New World thing. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Seeing Frankie having Yamato look at Frankie's water pose. That makes total sense. I'm sure probably she stole his water poses from her father. Yep. Alright, now move on to chapter 1037, which is top billing. First up, we have a killer page, a 2-page spread, which its input has all the Straw Hats. Luffy, Chopper, Frankie, Jinbei, Brook, Zoro, Usopp, Nami. Yeah, all the current Straw Hats. Yep. All this wonderful 2-page spread. Now we have top billing. We have of course, Momonosuke in the dragon form pulling away the island. Meanwhile, though, like it seems as though that Big Mom was losing to Kid and Law. And things like, yeah, using like her power to heal herself. Like, they use her saber on them. Yep, and of course they battle back and forth. And of course, like 3,000 Leagues of Misery. Yeah, and then of course Big Mom gets hit with this giant pillar right in the frickin' head. And you're like, now you get Trafalgar. More action, and of course that this little beam goes right to the frickin' ground. Which is simply Big Mom. Yeah, Big Mom is effectively been kicked out of, well, the island. Burning disaster. And then, of course, you have Captain Kidd making the gigantic frickin' gun. Yes, basically his frickin' cannon that he makes out of a bunch of metal. And he fires the damn thing. Give me all of it. I'm Big Mom. That's why we're getting rid of you. And she's like, damn punk. And then I think it's Trafalgar says, your era is over. Yeah, so I would definitely say, based upon that, Big Mom is done. Yep, Big Mom is done. She's been defeated with that. She's like knocked out. Anybody thinking, okay, with Big Mom done, it means that, well, Kaido's the only one left. Yep. Right now, according to her lines, they really in the game. Yeah, I believe it. Based on this. Yep. Damn good chapter. Give it a 10 out of 10. Okay, so that's it. Signal of you. Next up, Baruto. Okay, next video. Bye.